Hey, Stone Cousins, you already know what time it is. Animated horror stories. Animated horror stories. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. I have a cold. I'm trying to get through. Trying to get through, make some content. Excuse me. Make some content before it gets really bad, you know? I say knock on wood. My husband says knock on air because wood burns. Knock on both because it doesn't need to get worse and to get better and go away because I work with people. Um, yeah, so I have a cold. So if you see me going over here or over there, it is to blow my nose. Goodness. Where are we today? We are at our cousin's Mr. Creepy's house. Doing what? Doing Crazy Crush Horror Stories animated. I read it and it said I got rejected by my crush. Then this happened, and I was immediately like, "Oh, what you do? Well, what did he do or she do? Like, stop it, cause it's not always men that be acting to be women's too." So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's happening in this video. So, as always, y'all already know what to do. Please grab a blunt, grab a bottle of water, grab a bag of chips, and grab a blanket so you can be snug. Okay? Let's get up in here. Oh, disclaimer. The following stories are inspired loosely based on true events. All characters and events taking place in this video are fictional. In reality, no one was hurt mentally or physically. The videos on this channel are intended for mature audiences only. So if you are under the ages of 18, get your ass up off this video because this is for grown folks only. Okay? You don't know what's about to pop out. You don't need to be watching none of this. Take your ass on somewhere. Love you. Bye. He had a damn crush on me.
Having someone who has a crush on you is pretty interesting, right? But the whole thing could be terrifying if that person is so obsessed with you that he tries everything to keep you by his side. I experienced the same situation once, and it was a horrible nightmare. My college life went smoothly until I noticed a guy who peeped at me every time I came to the canteen. That's Lucas. He's weird. He's always sitting there alone and mumbling weird things. Just ignore him, my friend told me.
So damn.
At first I didn't care much, but I gradually discovered that Lucas was indeed a problem. Somehow he knew my classroom and always followed me after school. I was so tired of being watched, and I thought I had to end this. Why are you following me? Lucas looked at me confused.
Not him following you.
I like you, Mia.
Boy.
But I don't. If you keep following me, I'll call the police.
Exactly. She gonna tell 12 on you. Now leave
I
him
yelled at him and ran away. That day, while returning home from a late-night shift, I suddenly felt someone following me. When I went faster,
Again, Lucas?
the footsteps behind me also sped up, and then it stopped. I cautiously looked around, but it was just an empty alley.
Elbow.
When I woke up, I found myself in a strange room. My head hurt so bad. You're awake? Lucas smiled at me,
No.
which scared me to death.
Come on now.
Let me go! I struggled, but my legs were chained. I was afraid Lucas would kill me or do something terrible to me.
Stop trying!
He suddenly became fierce. He rolled up his sleeves and walked over to me. I sat huddled in a corner, shivering in fear. I already told you that I like you. So why do you keep pushing me away? Fine. I'll give you some time to think about that, Lucas said before leaving. I was locked in this closed room. I tried to scream and kick with my chained legs, but it was all in vain. I couldn't get out. I can't die this way.
You can't. Do something.
I burst into tears. I didn't want to give up, and I had to find a way out of this place. After a while, Lucas walked in with the tray of food in hand. He put it down in front of me and asked, "Have you changed your mind?" He made me feel so disgusted. I didn't want to talk to such a pervert. Seeing me silent, Lucas flashed a wry smile and stood up to leave. "Actually, I like you too." Hearing my words, he immediately turned around, his eyes shining in the darkness. "Very good. That's my girl."
Boy.
Lucas really thought I loved him, so he treated me more gently. But I am still imprisoned with one leg chained, and I couldn't move around freely. You might wonder why I didn't find a way to escape. I tried, but Lucas was very crafty. He seemed to be at home all the time and always watching over me. I was only allowed to eat one meal a day, and that left me in a constant state of exhaustion. "I will never leave your side." I always said that when he showed any signs of agitation. He was always afraid of being left alone, so every time he heard me say that, he hugged me tightly. Just like that, Lucas gradually relaxed his vigilance. That day he went out again and let me walk freely in the house. I waited a few minutes after he left and then tried to get out of there. But the windows were closed with wooden slats and the doors were also locked from the outside. I tried rummaging through the house and I found an axe. Even though my body was shaking from hunger, I tried my best to break the door. I was so close to getting out of there. Lucas? So he had never actually left. He just created a trap to trick me in. In anger, he stared at me with wide eyes and teeth clenched. He looked very scary. My hands trembled with fear. The axe was about to fall to the floor. Lucas rushed over and pushed me to the floor. "I told you to never try to escape. You knew what would happen, didn't you?"
No, you are clear.
"I will not leave your side, please." But Lucas didn't trust me anymore. At that point, he really wanted to kill me. I had been trying so hard to survive. I couldn't die at the hands of this pervert. There's only one way to keep you by my side forever. Lucas clenched his fists, making me choke. I felt pain and couldn't breathe. At this moment, if I tried to struggle, I would be putting myself in danger. Lucas was so focused on choking me to death that little did he notice the axe on the floor was right near my reach. I once again tried to grab the axe and swung it hard at him. He dodged and fell to the ground. I quickly ran away without looking back and fell to the ground. Even though it was snowing outside, with the thin clothes and bare feet, I tried to run. Crossing the small path and the main road, I finally found a kind person who helped me get to the police. I told them everything, and Lucas was immediately wanted. I didn't know where he had been hiding, but I knew I would be safer under police protection.
What? Happy you got out, sis. I thought he was gonna chop off your foot. Crazy Karen has a crush on me.
I hate Karens, but they say fate will give us whatever we hate. I had to deal with one every day in my shift at Pizza Hut. Whenever the woman came in, I tried to avoid her by hiding in the kitchen, but every time she saw me and called me out. I never knew why she made me her target. She came into my shift again today.
Hey, Gray. You come here.
She called me. At first, I kept cleaning the table and pretended that I didn't hear anything, but she didn't give up.
Didn't you hear me calling?
She growled. Yes, ma'am. What's the matter? I turned around.
Would you go to the kitchen and ask if my food is ready?
It was annoying that she always made some stupid excuse to get me to do whatever she said. Okay, madam. Please be patient, I said and turned away. Suddenly, while I was leaving the table, she patted my butt.
Hurry them up. I'm
Just
so
smack her in
hungry.
the face.
She said and winked at me. That made me feel very uncomfortable. Because I was so frightened by her actions, I hid in the kitchen until she left. After that incident, I decided to sign up for the night shift to avoid her. But then my co-worker, Andy, told me that the first day I changed my shift, she came in as usual. Then she looked around and approached the order counter.
One hot stuff as usual.
While Andy had finished delivering her pizza, she kept asking.
Where is Gray? I didn't see him here.
Andy replied that I changed my shift, and she immediately asked for the time. But Andy said it was domestic information which couldn't be revealed. Immediately, she went crazy, slammed her hands on the table, and shouted.
Tell me, when can I meet him? If not, I will destroy this shop.
Andy stepped back and said, Please calm down, I really can't speak about it. She didn't pay attention to what Andy said. She grabbed him by the collar and huffed.
Speak! If you don't, I'll kill you.
Andy shook his head and tried to push her hand away from his collar. Then she took the pizza on the counter and threw it straight in Andy's face.
I don't need your pizza. Bring Gray back to me.
Because she was so aggressive, Andy called the police and dragged her out. Then, Pizza Hut posted a sign prohibiting her from entering the store. Another day, I went to work. But just as I was about to open the door and enter, suddenly someone grabbed my hand.
Gray! Here you are. I
Gray, you better
finally
punch
got
her in
to
the
see
face.
you.
It was that goddamned woman. She looked
It's
disheveled
happy
and
weekend.
dirty. She seemed to have been there since morning. Oh my God! Get off me! I shoved her hand away in fear and quickly entered the store. During my shift, she stood outside the store and stared at me as if she wanted to eat me alive. Because I worked the night shift, it was very empty. The only patron was her, and I always had to keep an eye on her to make sure she didn't sneak into the store. The phone rang, and I picked it up. It was Andy. He couldn't come in for his shift, so I had to look after the store alone today. As soon as I hung up the phone, I turned to look at her, and she was gone. Oh
Why didn't
no,
you tell him?
where did she go? I thought nervously. I looked around the store but didn't see anyone. In an instant, someone suddenly jumped up and hugged me from behind.
Oh, Gray, there you are.
I turned around startled. It was her. She hugged me tightly, but I struggled to push her hand away. I ran into the kitchen, but tripped and fell. She rushed over to me. Her lips pursed. I jumped up in fear, instinctively defending myself. With all of my strength, I used my hands to press her head onto the grill. She struggled and shouted.
Let me go! I'm burned! I'm burned! I'm burned!
The smell of barbecue hit my nose, and I realized I had gone a little too far with her, so I let go. She was burned now, and the stove marks on her face were hideous. Her eyes were sealed from the burns. She waved her arms wildly and frantically ran.
You no! My face! You ruined my face!
I crouched in fear and looked at her from a corner, and she came up to me and grabbed me. I panicked and pushed her away. Suddenly, she stepped on a knife that fell on the floor. She slipped, fell backwards, and was motionless.
This is a whole lot happening.
I shivered. I dialed 911 without thinking. The police showed up 10 minutes later, and fortunately, she was not dead, and I was not charged. According to police, she had a history of mental illness. She had been away from home for several days, and her family was trying to find her. But the image of that woman with a burnt face still haunts me to this day. I used to go to the bar at night just to find someone that I could talk to. I loved the atmosphere and the spirits there, but I could barely enjoy any of those anymore after that horrible incident. Usually after leaving work, I would go to the X-Bar alone. That day, while enjoying a glass of gin, a strange man came and sat next to me. "Hello, beauty."
Oh, hi.
"My name is Andrew. Can I join you?"
Okay.
No.
You look so cool.
"I like your jawline. It's very sexy."
Oh, thanks. You're so kind.
He and I got along well. I always felt excited about the way he talked. I began to feel very comfortable sharing my interests and stories with him. He said he loved to spend time on the couch and watch Netflix, but he often felt lonely enjoying the movie alone. "Do you want to come to my house? We can enjoy Netflix together." I hesitated for a moment, so he added, "Just a movie, please." I nodded in agreement. "Come in," he said while opening the door. What was inside shocked me. On the walls, there were strange paintings in crimson ink like blood. I didn't know, but they looked very abstract. There was also a glass cabinet filled with skulls and a trinket shelf. I was taken aback by the scene, and I thought maybe he was a fan of horror films.
Wow. I'm very impressed with your home decor.
Thanks. They are so special to me.
Why are you?
I walked over to the skull cabinet and blurted out,
It looks so real.
"Of course it is." I looked at him suspiciously, and we both burst out laughing.
Why would?
Nice joke.
I sat down on a couch, and
Are
he
you
handed
still
me a
sitting
glass
down?
of wine.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the
Wow.
wine.
The wine is
Did I say it's giving
salty. Very
Probably
special.
thought it. It's definitely
Well,
giving Jeffrey.
this wine is my homemade
From the
brewing.
look to the glasses
It's
to
so
a
good,
little
I
bit of
love
the
it.
story.
He then picked up a movie about serial killer Jeffrey
Why would
Dahmer,
you pick a man that
and
looks
we
like
watched
you?
it together. During the movie, Andrew kept praising the murderer. "What do you think? He's great, isn't he? I love the way he kills the victims and handles corpses. So cool."
Boy,
I felt really uncomfortable about Andrew's reaction.
'cause why would
He
you go
was
to his house?
cheering for a murderer? I decided to ignore it, though. For the rest of the film, he seemed to be the only one enjoying it. I myself was disgusted by his sick words. More than an hour had passed, and we watched the first 2 episodes. Dahmer is much more special than that. They made the movie so sketchy about him. Andrew
What?
said. I was annoyed with him, so I found a way to leave.
I think it's quite good, though. Well, it's late. I think I should go home now.
I stood up and was about to leave when he grabbed my hand. "But wait, are you leaving?" He gave me a sharp look.
Boy, now
You're
you know.
always like them. Always tend to leave me.
What?
Who are you
What do you
talking about?
mean?
Before I could react, Andrew pulled out a knife and pointed it at me.
You can't go anywhere.
Feeling frightened by this unusual changing attitude, I was forced to think of another way to get out of there.
Okay, calm down. I'll stay, okay?
Then he cooked a hearty meal. Sit down. Enjoy your
But
meal.
No.
He became
Don't
warm and friendly again. That was odd. Just a few minutes ago,
was trying
he
to cut
threatened
your
me
damn
with
head
a
off.
knife. What was wrong with him? I looked at the dishes on the table and reluctantly sat down. He just sat there silently watching me, and he
You
smiled
ain't
like
got
a
no food?
pervert. When I
No.
put a spoonful of soup in my mouth, I suddenly chewed on something hard.
What's that?
I checked what I had just spit
It's a
out.
nail?
It was something like a blue fingernail.
Oh no.
Oh,
Grab that
my
for it.
bad. Sorry for that. He said indifferently. I was so shocked at that time. My body felt sick, and I just wanted to throw up.
You mean...
He walked up to me. He left me yesterday, just like you're about to do.
Boy.
You're insane!
I vomited, trying to push everything out. I was breathless, and my heart was pounding wildly in my chest. The feeling of fear made my whole body go numb.
Yeah.
Stay here with me. He flashed a chilling smile. I had to run away from this disgusting man, but I couldn't move an inch.
I don't want to.
At all.
Don't say anything. I don't want to hear a no, he said, holding up an electric pruning saw.
So, you choose the death.
He turned
Why?
on the saw, which
How you
frightened
just
me
told him not
even
to say
more.
nothing and then you
I
try to
grabbed
say
his
it.
wrist,
Oh.
tried to push him to the ground, and punched
Yes!
him in the face.
Yes!
Seeing him lying
Beat his
on the ground in
ass!
pain, I rushed to the door, trying to
Oh
open
my
it and
god.
get out.
I'm so proud of you. Let me go back to see that
So,
combo.
you choose the death.
He turned on the saw, which frightened me even more. I grabbed his wrist, tried to push him to the ground, and punched him in the
Yes!
face. Seeing him lying on the ground in pain, I rushed to the door,
Beat his
trying to
ass.
open it and get out.
Help me! Someone help me!
I ran along the street at night, screaming for help until exhausted. Finally, a police patrol car approached me. They came and arrested Andrew. And after that, he was considered a murderer who imitated Jeffrey Dahmer. I was very lucky to escape death that day.
We love it over here. Mama? Because why would you even do that? And are you eating the people or are you feeding the people to people? Because he was eating the people. And you fed that man somebody. Stop playing. Let me know how you feel about the videos. I can say I enjoyed them. Yep, I did. And I enjoyed the first two, and then I enjoyed the last one. So I enjoyed them all. I want to say that they all gave creepy crush vibes, even though the last one was based on Netflix. It's still, met a guy at the bar. He had a little crush on me, and he ended up being a killer. Let me know which one was your favorite in the comments. As always, please don't forget to like the video and go over to Mr. Creepy and like his video as well. And yeah, subscribe. And until next time, you guys, I love y'all. Bye.